Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics. Now, this is a week where a lot happened. Sometimes some weeks go by where you're casting around for a topic for an episode of Talking Politics, and on some weeks there is an embarrassment of riches. And this was one of those weeks where, first of all, the Supreme Court came out with its verdict on the validity of the abrogation of Article 370 that the government had done on August 5th, 2019. That went the government's way. That was seen as a win for the government. And then we had this really shocking security breach in the Lok Sabha where two young people jumped down from the visitors gallery and took out canisters with some yellow colored gas which they set out, thankfully non-lethal, but an incident which raised a lot of questions about the safety of our institutions, physical safety of our institutions and of our members of parliament as well. All of that is still going on. The opposition is at it. They are going after the government, saying you have to tell us what you have done for the security of this space. The Home Minister has been asked for an explanation, but the Lok Sabha Speaker then suspended 13 MPs and the Rajya Sabha Chairman suspended one opposition MP. So in total 14 opposition MPs have been suspended. Now all of that happened, but what also happened during the last week was this choice of chief ministers for the three big Hindi-speaking states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, that the BJP effected. Those are choices, they're like an onion, these choices of chief ministers. There are layers and layers, and you should keep peeling out to come to some sort of an idea as to why these choices got affected. You have Vishnu Deo Sai in Chhattisgarh, you have Mohan Yadav in Madhya Pradesh and Bhajan Lal Sharma in Rajasthan. And also, of course, what will happen to the regional Chhatraps who have been sidelined because of these choices, which is Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh and Vasundhara Raje. Now, all of this will be put together in this episode of Talking Politics. Please watch on. In its choice of chief ministers, BJP first made sure that its old satraps, still very active in these assembly polls, that is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Vasundhara Raje and Raman Singh, who are all, by the way, MLAs in these new assemblies, were not the choice. So the BJP took its time. The results were announced quite early in December, but it took its time. It took more than a week, 8 to 10 days, in fact, to make its choice. And at the time of recording this video, which is Friday, December 15th, Rajasthan Chief Minister is only now taking oath. So therefore, all of this waiting and watching, first of all, resulted in the fact that these big regional Kshatraps did not make the cut. And then the ones who did make the cut, there were lots of reasons that were given for alighting on those choices. It was said that the choice of Vishnu Deo Sai, who was a former union minister and a tribal face of the party in Chhattisgarh, Mohan Yadav, MLA from Ujjain South in Madhya Pradesh, and an OBC face, and that too a dominant caste OBC, not just MBC, EBCs who do vote for the BJP. And then you had Bhajan Lal Sharma, MLA from Sanganer in Rajasthan, and a Brahmin face. These were all attempts by the BJP's High Command in Delhi to point out that the victory was due to the organization and the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. No regional Kshatraps contributed to these decisive victories that took place, especially in Chhattisgarh, where there was actually no regional Kshatrap worth his or her salt who could be projected. All three states had gone into polls under the collective leadership formula with the face of Prime Minister Modi. And that these choices are also not just to make a generational shift from these chief ministers who actually came into power in the Atal Advani era of the BJP and are actually contemporaries of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but they are also important in terms of messaging with regard to identity politics. Now, what is this messaging? Well, a tribal, a dominant OBC, which is seen to vote for non-BJP parties actually, unlike the EBCs and MBCs, and a Brahmin chief minister. These are the three important identities upon which BJP alighted. They gave a message that the party has a wide range of leadership to offer to every strata of society, all sections of society. You want OBCs, we have OBCs. You want Brahmins, we have upper castes. You want tribal community leaders, we have tribal community leaders. That is what the BJP has been saying. It's also an answer, basically, to the Congress's campaign for a caste census and more representation to OBCs in government jobs and educational institutions. BJP is basically telling the Congress, you may talk of all these things, but we are the ones who are walking the talk. We have given a lot of space, a lot of representation, a lot of hissedari to all sections of society, covering a gamut of communities here. Then it also demonstrates that by picking low-profile men who work their way up through the organization, for example, Rajasthan Chief Minister Bhajan Lal Sharma is the longest-serving General Secretary of the Rajasthan BJP, and all three Chief Ministers have been associated since studenthood with the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, which is the student organization of the RSS. In fact, the ABVP always keeps saying that they are in fact older than the Jan Sangh, which was the parent party of the BJP, which was the BJP's earlier avatar. So all three of these chief ministers are affiliated organizationally and ideologically, very importantly, very ideologically, to the BJP and the RSS's ideological framework. And that the BJP is giving out a message that it is rewarding workers and giving opportunities to leadership, rather than leaving all these positions, prime positions, काम organization वाले करते हैं और leadership कोई और ले जाता है. Just to break that situation, they want to give out a message, the high command. So as I said, this is like an onion. You keep peeling, you get layers out of layers out of layers. So these are some of the layers that are there in terms of the BJP's choice of chief ministers. All of this, of course, sounds very well on paper, but the BJP's track record, the High Command's track record in picking chief ministerial candidates and to pull it off in terms of electoral gains in the next set of elections is very, very patchy. For example, in Haryana, Manohar Lal Khattar was handpicked by the BJP High Command to be chief minister of Haryana. This was, I think, in 2014-15. But in the next set of assembly elections, he was the BJP only came to power in Haryana after it was propped up by an alliance with the Jananayak Janata Party, led by Dushyant Chautala, very, very Jat-centric sort of a party, and quite in opposition to the non-Jat-centric politics that the BJP does in Haryana. In Maharashtra, appointing Devendra Fadnavis, a Brahmin, as a chief minister led to a Maratha backlash, which we saw, some of the results of which we saw in the 2019 assembly polls. And in Jharkhand, the appointment of Raghubar Das as the state's first non-tribal chief minister. This is a state that was founded on the principle of the tribal population, giving representation to the tribal population there. The BJP gave a non-tribal chief minister. This led to a tribal backlash. The party lost the elections in 2019. So in Uttarakhand also, it was Prime Minister Modi who pulled the party through in 2017, although handpicked Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami lost his own assembly election in that poll. Now, all of this points out to the fact that while the BJP High Command will be satisfied, will be comfortable having chosen these candidates as chief ministers and having sent multiple messages with regard to these states, these chief ministers will still require, most likely, a lot of propping up from Delhi to pull off another victory or to kind of pull this off in a long-term political sense, in not just in terms of electorally, but also in terms of all the messages that their appointment seeks to give. Now, some commentators have also started comparing the BJP's high command culture to that of the Congress under late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, under whose reign began the culture of Congress legislature parties basically not electing any leader in any state, but passing a resolution saying Congress president will take a call on who's going to be chief minister. So there you have an appointed chief minister rather than an elected one from within the legislature party. So this culture is also considered one of the main reasons for undermining state leaders within the Congress, and therefore the erosion of the Congress vote bank in many states. And there are a lot of apprehensions, of course, that this may be just what is happening to the BJP, but well, that may well be, but currently at least one can say that the BJP has demonstrated that it is agile. I can't say that they only think one way. They have been experimenting a lot, and I would rather put it in the basket of experimentation. For example, as I mentioned earlier, Prime Minister Modi pulled the party through in Uttarakhand, but this was also on the back of 3 changes of chief ministers, all based on feedback. So Trivendra Singh Rawat gave way to Tirath Singh Rawat and then Pushkar Dhami. And I think that agility and the Prime Minister's concentration on Uttarakhand also convinced the voters in a way that BJP cared, the High Command cared at least a bit to listen to what the feedback was. Also in Jharkhand, as I said, Raghubar Das, the non-tribal chief minister, after the BJP lost that election, was shunted, removed from party leadership, and then has lately been appointed governor of Odisha, and therefore he is out of active politics then. And the position of party chief has been given over to Mr. Babulal Marandi, who is a former chief minister and a very strong tribal face for the BJP since long. In Haryana, there are all signs that the alliance between the JJP and the BJP will end soon. And basically, BJP will be going back to its non-Jat-centric politics, which brought it to power in 2014-15. So, in all of this, of course, is the question of what about the personal careers of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Mr. Raman Singh and Ms. Vasundhara Raje. Now, Mr. Raman Singh has been promised the Speaker's position in the Chhattisgarh Assembly, while Ms. Vasundhara Raje remains the National Vice President in Delhi, in the national team of the BJP. And the future of Mr. Chauhan, who has declared that he will be sticking to Madhya Pradesh and not going anywhere. There were a lot of these very emotional videos, beneficiaries of Ladli Behna scheme coming up to him and calling him their brother and saying, we gave you a vote, you should have been chief minister, we gave the vote to the party thinking you will be chief minister, please don't leave us. And he said, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to be sticking to Madhya Pradesh. Now, how the BJP High Command kind of finds him a job to do, because this is also, let's be very, very clear, Mr. Chauhan is an important political asset or an election asset. He is a good political asset for the BJP. It'll be a shame to waste him. So it'll be interesting to see how he is accommodated in the present scenario. In the past, chief ministers who found themselves out of the post, like Anandiben Patel in Gujarat, has been made governor of many states, currently governor of Uttar Pradesh, Raghubar Das, governor of Odisha, then Sarbanand Sonowal, who kind of was elected back as chief minister of Assam, but the position was then given to Himanta Biswa Sarma. He was made union minister in Delhi with cabinet rank, so he was quite well accommodated in a post-CM-ship sort of scenario. Or if the party can't find something good for you to do, you could always be a vice president in the organization. The vice president's post in the BJP being a largely ornamental one, however. So that's not such a good accommodation, but there is a hierarchy to that accommodation that also reflects what the High Command wants out of you and how they view you. Well, what the choices have done, now this is my little, sort of editorial point on all of this. Now, what the choices have done in a positive way, of course, is what I've said before. That is, it has opened up a system. This is not a closed system anymore. कि कोई भी जीते, मतलब पार्टी जीते, यही बनेंगे. पार्टी जीते, leader तो यही बनेंगे. That situation has been opened up. Now, this kind of an opening up of a situation kind of energizes party hierarchies and organizations, because everybody thinks that they're in with a chance, that they have a very good chance of making it if they do stick around long enough, demonstrate loyalty and merit. there can be a time where a backbencher could well become chief minister. And this energizing of the party workers is extremely important for the BJP going ahead to the 2024 elections. As the assembly polls this time around showed, the BJP's national leadership said this is collective leadership. We're not projecting our face. We have Modi as the face, party organization, and they were able to pull off a spectacular result. And this is exactly what actually at the end of the day, all these choices of chief minister mean, which is that 2024 will be a largely presidential style election. It will be Mr. Modi's election, of course, and he will need all hands on deck for that battle. And this was one of the very big ways in which the BJP managed to do that. This is all I have for you this week. Do give us feedback on what you think of all of these episodes of Talking Politics. If you've been following us, if you want more of this kind of content, do subscribe to the Hindu's YouTube channel. I'll see you next week.